Hello everyone, it has been a super long time since I made the last video, and it's time for a bit of an update. So today is March 13th. It's been about 4 months. I think the end of October was the last time I posted a video on the channel. It's crazy how fast time flies. Not too much has been going on, just the regular stuff every day. Rearranged a bunch of things. Shelving has moved. Tables have moved. This desk, it's still not finished. I've been meaning to paint this for like 2 or 3 months. Still haven't gotten around to it. But the desk itself is nice. Gives us an area to work on things and ship stuff and have a little bit of privacy, even though you can kind of still see everything if you lean over a little bit. I also wanted to address some concerns people had about the last video. It was super funny to me. After I posted the last video, there were at least 5 or 6 of the regulars that come in every week that asked me if I was okay. Like, I didn't realize how kind of like somber the tone of the last video was, which is funny to me because I went back and watched it and I like totally get it. Like, I can see what people were talking about. But when they first mentioned it, I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean am I okay? Like, you seem depressed. And I totally get it. It was like a weird tone. It just caught me at an odd time when I recorded that. And I didn't want to like sugarcoat things about running the shop. I didn't want to make it seem like something other than what it is. Like, I always try to do that and be as real as I can about everything. But yeah, everything's fine. There's a lot of days where I'm a little like tired and or stressed, and sometimes I wear it on my face a lot more than I realize I do. But everything's fine. To me, like I said, to me it was just kind of funny that people like read into it that much. But yeah, everything's cool. Like I mentioned, we've just been trying to make like steady progress. I like rearranging things, even at my house. Like, we rearrange furniture like constantly, or I do. My wife doesn't. But every 3 or 4 months, I like shift our room around or shift the kids' rooms around and stupid stuff like that in the living room. And I do the same thing here, just trying to like utilize the space as well as we can. Try to use what we have as efficiently as possible. We've also been trying to like improve our processes and the way we deal with certain things internally. No huge changes there, but sometimes little changes make a big difference. And then I also wanted to address, like, people ask why I don't upload videos or like when I'm going to upload videos, and I don't really have a good answer to that. In my mind, like, I'm always in the process of making a video, even though 4 months has passed and I haven't done anything. Like, in my mind, I'm always like still planning. I always tell myself I'm on the verge of doing something, but I'm not actually in the process of doing anything. So one thing I've been doing recently is trying to switch some camera gear around and just some of the recording gear. Been making some changes with lenses and equipment and stuff to try to make it easier to record, because a lot of times I put it off because it's like a whole production to get everything out and get everything set up. And part of that process has always also been attempting to improve the quality of the recordings I do, which isn't necessarily always like gear related. A lot of times that's like more of a process thing. But part of that has been an effort to just get equipment and stuff that's not necessarily more expensive than what I had. Several of the things, like several of the lenses I sold, were more expensive than the things I'm using currently. But having a simpler setup makes it a little bit easier to record, so I'm less likely to procrastinate when I want to actually sit down and do something. Yesterday was a good example of, it was a time that I wanted to record videos, but I started getting everything out, and there was customers in and people in and around me and stuff, and it was tough to like set things up, and eventually just put everything away and didn't do anything, even though the video I wanted to record was relatively simple, and if I'd had a little bit more of a streamlined setup, I probably would have been able to do it without any problems. So I'm working towards that. We're almost there. I'm waiting on a couple more things. But even in this video, you should probably notice a pretty dramatic improvement in the video and audio quality. And the funny thing is, with the exception of one lens, this is a different lens than the one I was using in any of the previous recordings. Nothing has really changed. It's all been like a process change. I have things set up a little bit differently, and I'm recording things a little bit differently, even though it's the same camera and same microphone and everything else is essentially the same. But if all goes well, this should look and sound quite a bit better than any of the videos I've posted on the channel thus far. One other small change, because some people are interested in this stuff, is this video will be edited in DaVinci Resolve as opposed to Sony Vegas, which is a pretty big switch for me because I'll be able to do everything all in one like workflow, all the audio and video and color grading and all that stuff. It's all in one place, which is really cool, and it's free, which is amazing. Sony Vegas was not free. It's not my favorite program. I kind of fell into that rut where it was one of the first things I learned to use, and once you've invested a certain amount of time in like learning a certain program, you have this like it really incentivizes you to not try something else because you have all this time invested, and it's going to be such a huge investment to try to move to something else. So it's been about 4 years now that I've used Sony Vegas, and I don't have much experience in DaVinci Resolve yet, so everything's taking me a little bit longer than usual, but so far the workflow's been fantastic. So I know some of you that watch these videos are interested in like the production side, so if you want to check that out, DaVinci Resolve is free. They have a version that costs no money, which is fantastic given that it's better than what I've been using before, so you don't run into that too often. So that's been pretty fantastic. But that's pretty much it. I didn't really have too much to communicate in this video. I say it every time I make a video, but hopefully I'll be recording a little bit more in the future and moving forward, though I don't want to make any promises or obligations, but just know that I have been working towards that. Like I said, there's a few small pieces of gear that I think will make things a little bit easier, and make me a little less hesitant to record videos, given how hectic it can be in here and tough to get a little bit of time set aside to do things. But I do appreciate people watching the videos that we do have posted. That's really cool. We still have people on a fairly regular basis come in and say that they've watched the videos about the shop, so I do appreciate you watching. But that's all for today. I just wanted to do a quick update and let everyone know that we're still here, we're still doing stuff, shop's still open, and I still own a camera and plan on recording some videos. So hopefully in the near future we'll have a couple more posted, a couple more updates, and I'll see you then.